Alright, so hopefully you guys had a chance to jump over and answer today's daily question. It's two of them. They are reviews over what we learned yesterday. And today what we're going to work on is expanding on those type of questions, going from single step to two-step, like it says in your solve two-step equations. And we are going to be using some distributing in there as well. So if you haven't had a chance to copy down everything that's on your screen right now, that's okay. We'll come back to it. First, I'm going to show you guys what you're going to be doing today from a section of the textbook. Again, this textbook is available on Monday's resources. I think I'm going to put it on Tuesday's resources as well. So going over there, yesterday we were working on chapter 2.1, and now we're on 2.2, solving two-step equations, and we're looking at treasure chests again. So go ahead and do similarly to what you did yesterday and figure out how much money is in each one of those chests. We know that they are equal to each other. Player 1 and player 2 get the same amount. We also know that each chest contains the same amount of money. Putting there, unmuting. So we're going to do the same thing we did yesterday. We want to get these treasure chests by themselves. So we're going to get rid of a 5 coin and a 1 coin. We've got to keep it equal since this is an equation. And we'll go ahead and get rid of a 1 coin and a 5 coin from the other side as well. These should be equal. We got rid of those. And now if we could know how many coins are left over here, then that should be how many are in the chest over there. So we got our ones. I think we got 6 of them. We've got some 2s. 4 of them. 4 times 2 gives us 8. And then we've got a 10 coin over here. So we can add those together. 16 plus 8. I believe gives us 24. And let's change these. That video the other day that we were watching on Khan Academy, he was talking about Chuck Norris's. Rather than treasure chests, let's call these C's. Those are our C variables, and there's 3 of them, 3 C's. So if we divide both sides by 3, then we should be able to know what's in one chest. C, one chest, is equal to, and I'm seeing some good answers there. I like it, Kylie. So, we'll go ahead and take a look at a couple examples from the book. So, coming over here to problem 1. Now, we have 2 numbers keeping the variable from being by itself. We have 2 and a 3 here, and we got to get rid of both of those to know what x is equal to. Not only are we going to be using opposite operations, if we see addition like we do here, we're going to use subtraction. We're also going to use opposite order of operations. Really, we have a thing that tells us an answer. Our answer is 15. And we need to know part of the problem, so we're going to be going backwards. So we're going to turn our order of operations backwards, and we're going to do addition or subtraction first. In this case, subtraction. 3 take away 3 cancels, so we're left with just 2x, and 15 take away 3 turns into 12. So we did our subtraction first. Now we're going to do our multiplication or division. We see multiplication, 2 times x, and so we're going to do the opposite. We're going to undo multiplication with division by dividing both sides by what x is being multiplied by. Again, it cancels. 2 divided by 2, anything divided by itself, is 1. 1 times x is just x. And we have to divide the other side as well. 12 cut in half is 6. So we're doing both of the things we learned yesterday. We're using subtraction and division within one problem. Make sure to do your either addition or subtraction first, and then your division second. So in the part of the book that I made a PDF out of, that was page 89. We're going to skip to the next chapter, to page 96. So you're going to have to skip a few pages in the PDF. And we're coming to chapter 2-3 here. And we're going to learn how to use distribution to solve a problem like this. Of course, distribution is when we have parentheses, but we cannot combine those like terms. They're not like terms. We can't combine them because one has a variable in it. So we're going to get around that by drawing a line from what's outside the parentheses to both of the things inside the parentheses. That line tells us to multiply. So we do. Negative 8 times 2x is negative 16 with an x behind it. Negative 8 times negative 1 is positive 8. So that first step of distributing turned our problem that had parentheses into it into a problem like our last one. So now we take care of the number that's the furthest away from the variable. It's going to require either addition or subtraction. And that's the way that I remember it. If it's right next to the variable, we save it for later. The number right next to the x, save it for later. Let's get rid of this 8 first. We do that by subtracting 8, keep it equal, take it away from both sides. And then all we've got is our negative 16x. 36 take away 8, they're saying is 28. Last step, we see multiplication, negative 16 times x. So we divide both sides by 16. Negative 16, that is. So don't forget, if you're multiplying by a negative, we have to divide by a negative so that it fully cancels out. So we got x by itself. And the reason why they left their answer as a fraction, they simplified dividing both by 4. Is because 28 doesn't divide nicely by 16. So in your work today, I think you're going to have problems where you have nice whole numbers instead of fractions for answers. But those are the steps, and you can come back to this and refer to these. It shows you each step of the way, and it explains what's going on each one. So we'll go ahead and go back to our worksheet that we're working on. And if you guys haven't had a chance, or you haven't quite filled this out, make sure that you go ahead and fill this out. We're going to get started on it. And again, we have to get rid of the 3 and the negative 7. So I showed you how to do it once. Now we're going to do this together. So I'm going to ask you guys either chat or unmute. It might be. Caitlin, we'll see what we get. I think that might be a good answer for what I was about to ask, though. So should we get rid of the negative 7 or the 3 first? I disagree. So, and we can remember this.
Negative 7.
Yeah, so I've got answers coming in from all over the place. 3 of you guys chatting. The number that's right next to the variable, that 3 there, let's save the number that's right next to it for last. It's easier to get rid of the numbers that are furthest away from the variable. So how do we get rid of a negative 7? What's the opposite of a negative 7?
Positive.
Anything we do to one side, let's do to the other side. So we could say 0 plus 3x, but that would just be 3x. And there is a plus in between here, but we are not going to add those together. It's not going to be 35. I like your question mark behind it. They're different signs, so we actually subtract, right? So in solving negative 28 plus 27, we subtract and get 21. But what kind of 21?
Negative.
Right, we're taking away more. There's a negative inside in front of our bigger number. So we have to have a negative right there.
And then you would divide it by 3, right?
Exactly. Now we can deal with that 3. To undo the multiplication, we divide by 3. And yes, there was an x equals negative 7 I saw in the chats. So you guys beat us to it. When you divide negative 21 by 3, you get negative 7. So this is very similar to what you guys were doing yesterday. I'm not surprised that somebody of you guys beat me to it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next problem here. And what's that word that we use to describe what we do when to deal with those parentheses there? I think you got it right, Caitlin. If you'd like, you can start on the delta math. Yeah. Is it Ayla? You guys know where we're going with this. So I was asking what this is called. Somebody tell me what I'm doing when I hand out that 2 to both the things inside the parentheses. It's right there, right? Distributing. So we'll go ahead and do that multiplication. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. And keep the x on board. And then we do 2 times 15. Gives us 30. And our 10 stayed the same. Now we've got a problem that looks just like the one across from it. Should we get rid of negative 4 or 30 first?
30? No. Negative 4?
No, I think you said the 30 first. And we just plain take it away, right? It's positive, so take it away from both sides. And then we're left with just negative 4x is equal to, what is 10 take away 30?
No. I don't know.
What did you say?
Just the 10 take away 30. In this case, one's positive and one's negative, so they are different, so we are actually going to subtract. Sometimes the sign in the middle is going to be right. But we're always going to be right if we let whether they're same or different signs determine whether we add or subtract. So different signs mean subtract. And should I put a negative in front of our 20?
Yes.
Yeah, because we're taking away more than we start with. I think you guys are going to find that your last step is going to be always dividing. We've got our x multiplied by a negative 4. Let's go ahead and divide it by a negative 4. Keep it equal. And the number that a few of you guys already posted as the answer is indeed the answer. X is by itself. And negative 4 divided by, or sorry, negative 20 divided by negative 4. Yes. A whole bunch of you guys are putting that answer down. So, now that we've done a few of them together, I'm going to let you guys get into your delta math. You're going to have 4 problems like the first one we did here, and another 6 problems like this one. Show your work. I want you to show your work for 6 of these problems in this area right here. This is going to be worth half of your credit. So if you do 100% on your delta math, but you don't show your work on this, then you're only going to get 50%. Once you've got this sheet of paper filled out, showing all of your work, then you're either going to email it to me or text it to me. So make sure to write this number. It's the same number that's listed in the Step Into My Office. This is my mobile work number, I guess. You can text it to me, or you can email it to me. If you're using a Chromebook, there's a camera app on it. You can hold that paper in front of it and then email it to me, or you can just use your phone and text it. Do make sure that you put your first and last name on there and your period number. So I'll let you guys get on to your Delta Math. Make sure you're showing your work and you're taking a picture of it and then sending it to me. Some of you guys already did. I offered some extra credit just to test out how this would work. But please flood my inbox and my email. As you guys are getting into this, if you have any questions, make sure you ask. A little note about tomorrow. We are going to have daily question. We have to, we can't just say no school on Wednesday. We have to do some school. So go ahead and fill out tomorrow's daily question when tomorrow comes around. And then you'll get counted as present. If you don't, you're going to be counted as absent for tomorrow. But just really quick, go in and do your daily question. I know that's a lot. Just take it one step at a time, and ask me if you need any clarification on any of the steps of the way.
Will there be Delta Math tomorrow too, on Wednesday?
Good question. No, just the daily question. So, like the 2 little quick questions you answered on the way in here. That's
Okay.
all you'll have to do in my class. Chances are you can knock out all of your classes within a half an hour or something like that.
Okay.